In your experience, what's the biggest woman repellent? Bad hygiene. I just saw a video where a woman's boyfriend was saying the way he washes his crack is by letting the shower water run down his crack. He doesn't soap or scrub or even douche with an extendable shower head. Didn't even spread the cheeks or anything. And he was American, so he wasn't using bidets after pooping. I thought the rumor about a small percentage of men not washing their crack was a joke. Apparently not. Constant self-pity. 100%. Ugh, that's why no one likes me. / waits for compliment. Other woman they know despising you. That depends. I know a guy whose ex described him as a cunnilingus obsessed perv. She made sure the world knew he needed to be reviled the world over. Things didn't go the way she planned. He was just disgusting. Ate me out to completion like every single time. The bastard wouldn't ever even penetrate me until I'd had 2 or 3 earth-shattering orgasm. And you know what the worst part was? He always ordered us tacos afterwards and insisted we cuddle and watched one of our favorite shows. Who is this again? I'm kinda in between jobs right now and temporarily staying with my parents works every time. My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live W my parents. I'm sorry, George. We are cutting you loose. Pepper spray works pretty well for me. Not very big though. I'd suggest a snowplow. Unless. Do women like Apatos or Ors? I prefer Diplodocus. But to each her own. The stink of desperation. I was like this years ago. I was desperate because I was lonely. But they probably assumed I must be desperate for sex. Yup. Oftentimes men claim they're lonely. And then when you try to befriend them as a woman, they turn super sexual out of nowhere. Being overly sexual while still getting to know the woman. Man, you're awesome to hang out with. So, can I see your tits? How is your Reddit character just fully black? Lack of empathy. Can't read a room. Chronic laziness. Lack of accountability and requires the attention on him all the time. I die. Please don't. Oh my god, you could be talking about my most recent ex. The number of times I caught myself trying to explain the concept of empathy to him is aberrant. Seeking constant validation. I know. Right? Right guys? That's the worst, isn't it? Guys? Axe body spray. Anytime I smell Axe, I have flashbacks to middle school when all the guys thought that body spray was a suitable shower. Gag. I remember my middle school boys' locker smelled like B.O. and Axe body spray. It was disgusting. Insecurity and needing them to validate you. They hate this. Women hate this simple trick. Lack of confidence. Refusing to brush your teeth. Apparently, I thought I had like 3 competitors when I started pursuing my now girlfriend. Turns out she had begged all 3 of them to brush their teeth, and they just refused. She said 2 claimed it was rude of her to ask because of their depression, and 1 tried but couldn't remember to do it regularly again. Question mark question mark question mark close bracket. It's never been an issue for me, but after she told me about that I realized that a couple of my own friends always had vile, chunky, unclean teeth as well, swollen red gums and all. Apparently a lot of dudes just don't brush their teeth and then expect women to just deal with it. I haven't noticed it on as many women. Brush your F teeth. Franklin's year haircut. What? Barbershops now available. Woman here, but I went from having a massive crush on a guy to basically not liking him in a matter of seconds after I heard him trashing his ex in front of people and calling her a dumb bitch. I definitely look at how guys treat other women as an indicator to how I'd be treated. People here mention fat. It's not the biggest repellent. It's just that you're playing the game with a handicap. The biggest repellent is being unkempt and looking like S. Bad hygiene included. Not knowing how to behave and talk, childlike, antisocial, and probably some others. I was fat all my life until I became 24, 160 kilograms. Women weren't really interested in me sexually, but I had a ton of female friends. Really good ones. When I lost the weight, whoa, I didn't even have to try with women. All these years I developed myself. learned how to talk, how to dress, how to look as good as I can, and obviously to have good hygiene. After I lost the weight, I was like a magnet. I didn't even have to try. But that is also because my confidence was sky high. Being fat is an obstacle and harms your first impression. If you look like S, smell and can't talk, being fat is the least of your problems. Edit. To anyone writing how I went from having no sexual attention to all the sexual attention when I lost the weight. Op said, what is the biggest woman repellent? My weight didn't push women away. I was just sexually unattractive. Edit 2. Yo. Who gave me the gold? I'll DM you a special thank you. No D-pic. Promise. Needing her to be a parent to you, but being unable to offer the same in reverse. If she is supposed to make soup when you're sick, you'd better be able to make soup when she needs. In other words, needing what you can't provide. Whatever you need to be able to provide. Saying you're an alpha. That shits. Alphas are unstable versions filled with bugs, to be fixed in a later edition. Don't date alphas. Online, looking for a FWB. In my defense, there will be women who say, oh, no, that's untrue. But from my experience, on the wide variety of relationship apps I've been on, matches go down to practically zero when you put that or hookups on your profile. Eye roll. Bad hygiene. It's literally a woman repellent, man repellent, child repellent. And if it's bad enough, animal and insect repellent. I'm pretty sure, if it's bad enough, the insects will love you. Cartoonists don't add flies above the stink lines for nothing lol. Pressure. Pressure to be your girlfriend. Pressure to go out too much, etc. If you put no pressure on her, just have fun, and let her push those steps, everything turns out so much better. The problem isn't pressure in itself, it's about leading. The whole lead a horse to water, but can't force it to drink applies. Lead the girl to your waters, don't drag her there. Make her feel comfortable and heard, and she'll show you the paths she's willing to walk down. There's a feeling to it that is like an action-reaction pair. If you can understand her reactions to your actions, you'll feel connected. It's about trust and communication. Show that she can trust where you're headed. Then you can lead her down your paths. Women don't like men headed nowhere. It's an unfortunate truth, but even in women who consider themselves strong allies of the LGBTQI+ community, there is often a negative reaction upon finding out their male romantic interest is bisexual. There are definitely women who are fine with this, or even positive about it, but they are in the minority. For all their talk of toxic masculinity, women will generally see your masculinity tarnished for sexually or romantically engaging with other men. Shooting in public. IDK, but that seems to do it for me. Unsolicited S-pics. Oh. Woman repellent spray now available at all major retailers near you. Thank God. I no longer have to rely on my personality. Depression. In high school, I was miserable because I never felt safe being myself. The weirdo with undiagnosed ADHD and all. Possibly autistic too. But I've never sought a diagnosis on that. After graduating, I became comfortable with being myself and not masking anymore. It was incredible how magnetic I became. I was insanely confident, without too much arrogance, because I knew I was weirdo. I was okay with that. Follow that for a couple years and I get hit with the big sad. One rejection was all it took to start masking again. At least that's what I now believe to be the cause of my depression. I was diagnosed with ADHD at 28, and I'm coming out of my mask slowly. Meds have been helping me to stay organized and become more financially stable. I have hobbies again, and I'm getting more confident as well. Things are looking much better. Being a rapist, followed by an accomplice of one. Coming out too strong. IMFUCKINGGAY, like that Squidward? If you aren't able to hold down a job, that's not really true. Plenty of women are into bums, criminals and all kind of bad boys. You just have to be confident and attractive.